Hello everyone and welcome to today's stream. I am Wolfmage1011 and today we are playing some more Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. And I just realized I don't have any water, so I need to step away and get that. BRB. Okay, now I'm ready to go. I have water. Or rather, I have juice that is made with water. Okay, let's talk to Estinian. You, carrying those Matanga may have been the true struggle. So yesterday well not yesterday, last stream we did the first dungeon of Endwalker and a bit of story, so let's see. The Jewel of Thabnir. Thancred is rested and ready to set out. Had enough rest, have you? You never were one for being idle. Right. Varshan bade us come to Megaduta at our earliest convenience. The others will join us there once they've finished Hello, Mousy. Once they've finished tending to to the prisoners. Oh wait, on second thought, you and Justinian go on ahead. I need to make a quick detour to the Great Works. Graha left. We left Graha in the alchemist's care, you see. Best to fetch him before he's charmed into crammed into a specimen jar. Just for you and me, then. Sorry, I'm a bit sick. Just you and me, then. The guardsmen at the gate should wave us through. When we delivered Graha to the alchemist, they were not a little excited. Perhaps it was Donna's rescue that brought them joy, but given their fixation with Estidian, I am not quite sure. Chonky boar. Let's see if there are any nearby Aether currents. Northwest. Says it's to the northwest. To the west directly. Ah, there it is. Might as well pick this up while we're here. Midgard's Father of Dragons. To the east, okay. Northeast. 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 Is it up on that wall? It's right here. Oh, Doggo left. Because I misclipped. And he returned. So loud. To the southeast, okay. That's one's over here where I can't get to yet. Yeah, I can't get down there yet. Estinian? With the tower gone, I expect that the state of alert will be lifted. Honored Scions, you are free to enter at your leisure. As I cannot leave my post, I'm afraid you must make your own way. Should you require direction in the city, the sentry stationed at the fountain atop the steps should be glad to assist you. Oh. Also, we're gonna do a quick... Let's see, we have Lord Aurelius, we have Droxel. Actually, Droxel doesn't have any points to spend on stream avatars, so I'm gonna fix that. Give Droxel some points. Now Droxel can get a stream avatar. Mousy is a... I can't tell what Pokemon that is. They are currently a Weasel. Okay. Anyhow. Yeah, every time I get a new viewer that doesn't have any stream avatars, they get some points to spend on stream avatars. Oh. I was pretty sure you had, but I was wondering why you didn't have a stream avatar. I accidentally yeeted you off screen. Also, I just realized that my PNG tuber is not up and running. Whoopsie. Let's fix that. There we go. Anywho, the reason I stopped the stream really quick is because I'm going to give a pack to whoever wins this thing I'm about to do. We are going to do a Stream Avatars Battle Royale. You can attack people, you can do whatever to try and win, but the winner will get a Stream Loots pack. Provided it is not me or my stream elements. If the winner is me or stream elements, we are gonna redo it. It is stream elements. We're going to redo that. So basically, it's my stream has a thing called Stream Loots. It's basically a card pack game where you can either buy packs with real money or earn them via stream. And basically, you can influence the stream with those packs. What is with stream elements? They're ruthless. You know what? I have an idea. Stream elements, you are getting deleted. There we go. Now we can do it properly. Delete stream elements so they stop winning. Oh, I have been disqualified, which is a good thing because I can't get the card back. Looks like it is Droxel who is getting the card back. Boop. You now have a Final Fantasy XIV card pack, Droxel. Though I've been to Rodside Town before, this place is a veritable maze. Rather than risk getting lost, we had best ask for directions from the sentry at the fountain. Lead the way, and don't expect me to act as your guide, like certain others. Istinia is now following us. Now, before we actually do this, we're gonna run around, turn, and attune to all the Aetherites. Next is this way. And I'm only doing these, gift pack things once per stream. Boom, boom, boom. Because I can only gift packs once per 10 times a week. And once per stream, someone can redeem a channel points version of the Streamlabs pack. Let's see. Oh. Let's see. Next we go here. Taking click break from the story to attune to all these freaking aetherites. Do, do, do. Do, do. There's one over here. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. And I actually attuned to this aetherite at this time. Attuning to the... According to the message on the base, the aetherite has been temporarily disabled. Okay, so we cannot attune to the aetherite in the city yet. But we can attune to all the shards. Let's see, there are 2 more aetherites. To attune to. And then once we attune to this aetheryte, we can just teleport back over here. And continue on with the quest. And that will leave us only the Aetherite Plaza when we get access to it. To attune to. Now, to continue on with the quest. Master Wolfmage, I presume. I understand that you are here for an audience with the Star Trap. If you require direction to Megaduta, I should be glad to provide them. The Star Trap's residence is situated in Dharma, the highest point of Radzatan. To get there, I would ordinarily recommend a route that takes you by the bazaar in the North City. Due to the state of alert, however, most businesses are currently closed, and the Aetherite disabled. As such, I will provide you with an Aether alternate path. First, please ascend the steps next to this fountain, then continue left. There will be more steps, and upon ascending them, you will emerge in the Pax's path. Proceed through the large door on the right, and you will arrive in Rue the Fiber. Within you will find another sentry who will give you further guidance. In other words, we head up. Sounds straightforward enough. So it looks like there's a discussion point here. Discuss the suspicion. Some just warfare. Oh yes, I know about this portal. It leads to a nearby island, the treasure vault of one of Rodzatan's wealthiest families. They took the god of luck as their guardian, and on account of which they occasionally open up a section of the vault for aspiring treasure hunters to try their luck, or so they say. There are also coffers hidden across the land that act as portals. Find one and you gain access to the vault. Something to bear in mind in case you exhaust your funds while on the road. 'Tis a troublesome experience I can personally attest. So we need to head this way. But it'll be far easier to just teleport to here. And then go this way. Let's see, looks like we're going this way? There's our objective. Heading to Megaduta, are you? In that case, please follow the hallway on my right and go through the doors at the top of the stairs. You'll emerge at the entrance to the airship landing, where another sentry should be on hand to assist you. Incidentally, if you ascend the steps to the other side of me, you'll find the workshop of Ruby does fibers, though they're free to observe the artisans. Though you're free to observe the artisans, take care not to lose your way. Discuss vibrant textiles. Thefnir weave. Hard to imagine more vibrant stuff. I dare say Emmerich would be partial to the gold thread. And the blue. Of course, he loves blue. It's blue. I've never put much thought into what I wear. A spare set of clothes is usually all I carry, and if that isn't enough, I can always obtain something locally. If you're here for an airship, I'm afraid all flights have been suspended until further notice. So the state of alert is still in effect. Perhaps it's not for the best. That aside, we're not here for an airship. We have business at Megaduta. Oh, in that case, permit me to direct you. From here, it's quite simple, really. Ascend these steps and then continue straight ahead across the bridge. You can't miss it. Now we get over here. Discuss Dharma. I remember passing by here with Vershan. This situation being as it was, he regretted not being able to show us the sights. Life has yet to return to normal here, but when it does, you ought to pay another visit. Though the city is confusing, the food is quite good, and the portal to Hama's. I'm partial to Hamsa myself. The meat's surprisingly tender and flavorful. Fox. Let's see, when do I get my next power? At level 86. So 2 more levels. Greetings and welcome to Megaduta. May I inquire as to after your business? We are members of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, come at the invitation of His Excellency. Of course, we have been expecting you. I will show you into the audience chamber. If you would please follow me.
Are we the last to arrive? I hope we've not kept you waiting.
Not at all. Your comrade is feeling better, I trust.
Much better, thank you. Harness remedies are certainly potent, in more ways than one.
One becomes accustomed to the taste, although I hope you never have cause to do so. Pray, take your ease.
Full glad I am to see you all unharmed.
Valiant scions, for your heroism, you have my boundless gratitude. You cast down that dire tower and set free its hapless captives. You cleanse their souls of its corrupting influence. No words of thanks will suffice. In place of platitudes, I offer a bounty of warding scales. Pray accept your due reward, along with the goodwill of Radzat-Han.
Alchemists throughout the land were put to work in the forging of your talismans. The finished ones have been collected, and now await you at the High Crucible of Alchemia. Present this letter when you are ready to take them into your possession.
We are humbled by your generosity. Know that the inventive wisdom of Radzat-Han will be vital in restoring serenity to our star.
Every single one of those scales came from you, didn't they? You must still be in such pain.
'Tis of no moment. A mere annoyance compared to the dreadful suffering inflicted upon this land and its people.
Albeit brief, my involvement in the Dragonsong War afforded me a glimpse of the myriad sorrows which consumed both dragon and man. Though you were half a world away, such tragedies as befell your kin must have affected you deeply. And yet, you chose to live among men.
In the age when that conflict first bloomed, my choice had already been made. In some distant place, man slew dragon, and dragon slaughtered man. Yet no hate could I muster for those smiling faces which did look to me for guidance. Not even my brother's righteous rage could rally me to his cause. I huddled here, secret and still, hoping against hope that which I had built would remain untouched by the chaos and carnage.
'Twould seem we share the same desire for peace, great Vritra. To that end, I wonder if we might trouble you with another question. The Telophoroi are intent on recreating the final days, an apocalyptic event which we know to predate the sundering of the star. As the longest lived among us, know you aught of this terrible cataclysm?
Nay. When war and strife drove my sire from his home, he crossed the great expanse with only our unhatched eggs as company. He alighted upon a shattered source, its 13 reflections long since scattered beyond the rift. Of events preceding his arrival, he knoweth naught, save that which Hydralin hath deigned to disclose.
I see. So again, 'tis the inscrutable Hydaelyn to whom you must look for answers.
Seek you to divine the will of this star? If so, I have a tale which may afford you some small comfort. 'Tis a story from my youth, many, many years ago. To my sire, I once posed the question, of all the stars in the sky, why didst thou settle upon this one? To which Midgardsormr did reply, 'twas the last bastion of hope. He believed, so long as Hydaelyn endured, so too might dragonkind. Solemn and portentous were his words. What deeper meaning they held, I could not, dared not pursue. 'Tis a stone I've left unturned ever since. Yet take you solace in the knowledge that whatsoever Hydralyn does strive towards, 'tis an ideal which hath earned my sire's conviction.
Thank you, Vritra. You've given us warm reassurance in a world gripped by cold uncertainty.
While I'm sure we all have a great many questions, I think it's time we collect the talismans and be on our way. Our fight against the Telophoroi is far from finished.
We must take our leave, but please do inform us if we can provide any further assistance.
Prithee, a moment. There is one whom my sire hath judged worthy of honor and respect. The one known to men as Eorzea's champion. This hero of renown and rumor. 'Tis thee.
I only wish he could be here now.
I know of his clash with the Mage, and the long slumber which was his price. Yet even closed in sleep, my father's eyes are far from blind. He is watching over thee, watching over this world. 'Twas a revelation most pleasing that thou, a child of man, had gained Midgardsormr's trust. But alongside mine elation runneth a rivulet of dread. For upon thy life's reel wind too many threads of fate, power, weal enmeshed with woe. Amidst this tangled knot thou shalt know no rest. 'Tis an endless confluence of forces, a struggle without surcease. More terrible still is the attrition wrought upon thy companions, as they are swept up in the storm of thine existence.
God, of course now of all times it has to show our friends that have died. Fucking game.
Take heart and protect them well. They will be your strength and your salvation. The hope thou wilt need come the end. Even cowering behind my curtain, I know the suffering of the powerful. I have watched my siblings driven mad by loss. Thus do I exhort thee to spare no effort to keep thy loved ones safe.
Apologies. We hadn't meant to interrupt.
It's just that we do have a history of suddenly collapsing, and when you didn't follow us out...
'Tis I who must apologize. I have detained your champion overlong with idle chatter. Go. At war's end, I pray I welcome thee back into my hall, where together with thy joyful comrades, you may toast your triumph.
Okay. I am freaking crying because it showed all the people who have died because of our adventures, including freaking Ffxiv. Our apologies again. I hope we didn't force you to conclude your conversation prematurely. So what were you and Breacher talking about? Nothing? Very well, if you say so. The others have gone ahead to the High Crucible. Let us catch up to them. Like his sister Tiamat, Ritra is possessed of a gentle soul. I'm glad that they're on our side. Archon's Loaf! The colors of joy. The color of joy. Upnote has a mind to join the others at the High Crucible. The attendant was kind enough to give me directions to the High Crucible. First, let us return to the mulberry orchard. I think we're going with our dapper look for now. I have passed up my quest. Brilliant. Anywho, I have finished my drink, so I am going to step away to get some more to drink. Yippee! Strawberry watermelon. Okay. Upnode? I understand the mulberries are for the silkworms grown a stone's throw away from the Sartrap's residence. It gives it the quintessential Thavnirian flair, don't you think? From here we're supposed to follow the left path, and follow the path left and past the mulberries. But yeah, them showing all the people that have died because of our adventures kinda made me cry. The word huge apparently means blind in the local language, and this district is so named because its contents it connects all the others in the city. If we manage to come this far, we shouldn't have trouble finding the High Crucible, or so it was told. No, I didn't mean to talk to Alpha Note again. Where the streets turn, enter the door straight ahead and descend the steps. I thought the Crystarium was confusing, but it doesn't compare to Radzetan. The architecture and decoration make it even harder to get your bearings. Anyway, let's see where this door takes us. Well, it seems we're on the right track. And there is the Aetherite Plaza. So far so good, and there isn't much further to go. From here, we just need to cross to the other side of the hall, and then pass through the larger of two doorways. The High Crucible lies beyond. I suspect the others have already collected the warding scales. Come, let us join them. Do 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 do. What next? What an immense laboratory. How many such places were enlisted to help forge the Warden Scales, I wonder? The students have previously turned to Radzetan's alchemist to help with the analysis of various artifacts. That is how I became acquainted with Nadana. I'm glad we could rescue her, and pray she makes a full recovery. I'm quite well now, I assure you. As they say, the stronger the taste, the stronger the color. The stranger the taste, the stranger the color. The more effective the remedy. With my body trying to replenish the ether I spent, however, I'm feeling rather famished. I think a sampling of the local delicacies is in order. Hamza cuisine would be a good place to start, perhaps. Excellent. You're in time to hear the latest good news. We're last, of course, but at least we found the place.
These are the talismans we were promised. Yes, and I made a quick count. There are far more than we could have hoped for. Enough to outfit an entire company of soldiers, in fact. Considering the involved process, that they were able to manufacture so many in such a short span of time is nothing short of a miracle.
Once we have distributed them to our allies in Eorzea and the Far East, we'll have a fighting chance to bring down the other spires, just as we did with the Tower of Zot.
Or we could use them to invade Garlemald proper, and strike directly at the Telophoroid's base of operations. Of course, we would need to consult with various Alliance leaders before such a drastic measure could even be contemplated. To which end, I could set out forthwith and present the idea to each of our allies in person.
Pray allow me to undertake some few of those journeys. I find myself restless and in need of purposeful duties.
I can head eastward. Bosnia and Dalmasca are just a short hop from here. And Doma's shinobi network should come in handy for passing on the word.
We shall share the burden then. Meanwhile, I think it best that you and the others take the talismans back to the Baldessian Annex. We must keep them safe and secure until we've decided upon a course of action.
Please, I must speak with you.
Nidana, you're awake.
Yes. When I spoke with the carer at my bedside, she told me that one of the scions, a young woman, had cleansed me of the tower's corruption. It seems I'd been asleep ever since the treatment. But when I awoke and learned you were all still here, I knew I had to come.
As you said, Nidana was captured only recently. Such a brief exposure is swiftly cured, so I tended to her before we gathered at Megaduta.
And I am truly grateful that you did. I cannot thank you enough. All of you, for everything you've done. Destroying the tower, rescuing our people. You've saved Havnair from an awful fate.
Yet who hath truly saved whom? Due in no small part to thine inspirational courage, the alchemists were successful in reproducing warding scales of proven efficacy. Replications of thy work now stand ready to travel across the seas, unto the hands of those who might wield them against this rising evil.
The talisman? Is this true? Oh, I was so groggy from sleep. I didn't even think to ask. Oh, our great work sent across the seas. It was worth it. Oh, it was all worth it.
Look at that! Its color is completely changed.
What do you have there? How unusual. I wonder if the effect is a reaction to Akasha.
I'm afraid I'm not familiar with that term.
Akasha? It is one of the unseen energies defined by Harnish alchemical theory. Though a gross oversimplification, some describe it as an essence influenced by feelings.
You imply that it is distinct from ether?
Foreign scholars often conflate the two, but we see them as separate concepts. Ether is an energy which permeates the land. It exists within animals, objects, even the air we breathe, affecting all through which it flows. Akasha, on the other hand, exists in a domain beyond our reach. A gift bestowed from on high, or torn from the heavens in some traditions. Akasha can neither be created nor destroyed. It is beyond our power to purposefully alter or manipulate. The only thing observed to influence it is an abundance of, I want to say, spiritual emotion. As a veteran of the battlefield, surely you've experienced moments of desperation or exaltation when you've transcended the usual limits of your capabilities. That is a manifestation of Akasha, the invisible essence harnessed by heart, mind, and unyielding spirit.
I really must hear more about this theory. Our disciplines are based entirely upon the idea that ether is the fundamental form of all energy.
I'm glad my haphazard explanation has piqued your interest. But even for us, Akasha is a somewhat abstract field of study. A lack of practical application lends itself poorly to formalized research. Which is why my analysis of your flower can amount to little more than idle speculation. I am sorry.
Nonsense! You have nothing to be sorry for. Your insight is much appreciated.
Shall we depart for Sharlayan then? I will see to it that the talismans arrive at the Annex.
And we will be in touch once our talks are concluded. I suggest you rest while you can. From here onward, sleep is bound to be in short supply.
Drink, drink, drink. Okay, I will drink. Hello, Zoo. Northern Empty, Old Charlian. I need to replay on my airport tickets. Okay. Ethernet. Valdesian Annex. Wait, what? I thought it wanted me to go in there. Oh, it wants me to talk to Cryo. It's good to be back, and with the fruits of our labor safely in storage, for now we have but to wait for the others to return from their respective meetings with the Alliance leaders. As Thinkford suggested, you should get some rest in the meantime. Welcome back, Wolf Mage. Kryle has praised me of your recent accomplishments with what an amazing feat. Excuse me. What an amazing feat to eliminate a tower and prove pave the way to deal with the rest. Well, it wasn't much. Well, it isn't much. I've changed the sheets and plumped up your pillow. After all, there's nothing like collapsing in a nice, clean bed after completing a major milestone, be it penning a thesis or defeating deformantities. So would you like to take a look at your new and improved lodgings now? Yes. And we get Archon's Loaf.
Take heart and protect them well.
Good, you're here. You haven't eaten yet, have you? We've bought quite a spread if you're interested. Only the finest dining from the last stand.
Lest you wonder, we invited Estinian as well. But he refused with a rather grim-faced, "No, thank you." I suspect Charlian cuisine is not to his liking.
Oh, I don't know about that. Perhaps our lone wolf just needed some time apart.
What? To perfect his brooding stare? Next time, I'll drag him out by the ear, sit him down in front of a Charlian feast, and see that he eats every last bite.
An excellent idea. Of all people, warriors must take proper meals and rest if they are to maintain a healthy constitution.
Poor Estinian, beset on all sides.
This has no right to look this good.
Speaking of one's physical condition, Mistress Cryle, I hear you recently played literal host to Heidelin herself.
And what an experience that was. Tiring, yes, but no lasting harm done. If anything, I should have liked to speak with her longer. I've not felt a hint of her presence since.
Heidelin instructed you to carry that flower, yes? 'Twill be your guide, test and proof of your conviction. And then something about seeking joy in darkness, was it? Come to think of it, isn't that what happened with Nidana back in Radzat-Han?
The flower did seem to radiate a joyful glow, as if reflecting the elation we all felt, the relief of a people with renewed hope.
Indeed, and in turn, I felt buoyed by that radiance. 'Twas akin to spotting a beacon and knowing we were on the right path. I know we've not yet triumphed over the Telophoroi, or learned the full breadth of the Forum's plans. But even within the midst of our struggles, we find small moments of joy to sustain us. Rare and hard-won perhaps, but it is this pursuit of happiness that gives us the strength to carry on day after day. Hey, that's mine.
To the swift the spoils. Though I recall that levitation spell of yours was quick enough.
Only barely. And even at my best, I'm still too slow to wield it effectively in battle. Mayhap I simply require more practice with this new magic.
You unearthed it from the depths of Numenon, I presume?
Aye, and from a veritable mountain of arcane tomes at that. 'Twas necessary to facilitate my solitary explorations.
Or, to put it simply, you used it to sneak around the Forbidden Archives.
Yes, well, after a fashion. They're tall, you see. The shelves, they're too tall for me. And I could hardly move the library's platforms without attracting attention now, could I?
Oh!
Short Graha. Are we pushing until dawn?
I'm not that ambitious. But 'tis pleasant to idle away the hours every once in a while.
One moment, I'm going to close my window because it is causing my blinds to bang against my desk.
Ah! Enjoying the bracing cold, I see. Do you not own a warm coat or a cloak? Something in fur? Or fashioned from the skins of your enemies? Or... well, never mind that. I come to you once more as the bearer of bad news. Our tower in Thavnir has been toppled, and I need not tell you by whom. Given how many we have at our disposal, the loss of a single spire is hardly fatal to our plans. It does, however, slow the rate at which we siphon the ether. If they continue to preoccupy themselves with the towers, then all will be well. But should our foe prove bold enough to strike at us here, then the timing becomes questionable.
Our foe is bold enough. Of that, I can assure you.
Yes, very well then. I suppose I must prepare a proper welcome. Honestly, talk of your nemesis is the only thing you seem to enjoy. Does nothing else spark your interest?
No. All else is equal. Equally tedious. Equally disappointing. The world is a tepid bog into which we sink, too weak to thrash as the mud clings to our eyes and fills our throats till we blissfully choke. But then came the light, blinding and pure and hot, so very hot, enough to set my soul aflame. I basked in the afterglow until the void yawned once more, and then I knew the muck would never claim me again. There was naught for me ahead, so I drew the curtain on all that had come before. Burn. Let the whole star burn. I will have my contest. I will reclaim my moment.
How wonderful that the emptiness of death has not dissuaded you from committing your life to its pursuit once more. I don't know whether to envy you or pity you.
You question my disinterest, but what of yours? Despite your noisome antics, I sense you take little pleasure in this endeavor.
Mercy, my lord. Such pointed barbs from one who barely acknowledges my existence. Nevertheless, you are mistaken, for I do find this part somewhat enjoyable. You see, when I was mortal, I would always have the same dream. It was a fragmented thing, disjointed, all the faces incomplete. The setting, too, was unknown to me, so I thought it simply a fantasy of my sleeping mind. Until one day, I realized it was showing me the truth. Much as your dream of the final days enlightened you. And soon, very soon, the rest of the world will see the truth of my dream, too. Yes, I think that is something we can both enjoy.
Okay, and next... Where's the next quest? Ah, with Kryl here. Let's see, Graha is here. I hope you don't mind us barging in to your room for our late night feast. For what it's worth, it did me a world of good to put our troubles to the side, if only for a moment. Are Alize and Alphinaud in here? No, they are not. Are they nearby? Are they out here? Nope. They're not anywhere to be found. So that's a mender. I'm gonna repair my gear. Sound the bell, school's in. Kyle and Grahatia were having a pleasant conversation until you barged in. Oh, there you are. Feeling refreshed, I hope? I was about to make my way to the studio, as it happens. I wanted to try to speak with Scholar Motachillian? I cannot read his name. And thank him for coming to our rescue in the Rusta. As it turns out, he came here to see us following the hearing, only to find that we'd already departed for Thavnir. Knowing him, he was probably hoping to chew the cud with his former student. Since we're still waiting for Y'shtola and the others, I thought now the perfect time to pay him a visit. Care to join me? Then it's settled. The twins will be coming too, assuming Alphinaud can tear himself away from his new toys. I'll let you rally the troops while I go on ahead to Fennemin. I cannot read words. Considering my recent improperty, perhaps I should avoid showing my face around the studio for a time. That might be for the best. If the others should return, tell them we will not be long. So they were nearby. Oh, they were right here. If Father can master these fiendish contraptions, then so can I. Heading out for a stroll? The scholar himself was here. In that case, what are we waiting for? I too am eager to see him, though I somewhat dread the thought of visiting the studium. I dare say our notoriety precedes us. Alphinaud of all people worrying over his reputation, and at our alumna matter no less. Well, will wonders never cease? You'll understand soon enough. Off we go. Let's see, this is over here, the studium. feels like only yesterday that I first walked through these doors. See that sculpted picture above the entrance? That's the mark of Thaliak, the scholar, bearer of water and knowledge. Bearer of the waters of knowledge. It's no exaggeration to say that Charlian itself is one enormous shrine to him, and that's especially noticeable here at here in the studio. Here it is. Dean Nomenon. Well, I expect you made note of it before. One can hardly miss it. This is the first time you've been here on official business, correct? Well, most of the place is taken up by the expensive auditoriums. It also houses numerous laboratories, testing grounds for experimental magic, and a host of administrative offices and so forth. As the creator of what would later become the Studium, it was established to promote as the center of what would later become the Studium. It was established to promote the study of aetherological phenomena, hence the name. Though with aether being a fundamental aspect of nature, the scope expanded to include every conceivable facet of life, and even the universe itself. And then in 432nd year of the Sixth Era, phenomenon was decreed complete, and the Studium officially opened as a place of learning. With a long and storied history, it was without question the world's largest authority on aetherology, the arcane, the occult, astronomic, and countless other fields. Standing proud as Charlian's foremost educational institute. You always did enjoy the grand tour to new students. Indeed, I've long since lost track of how many times he has recited that same foppish speech. Such is his undying love for his old stomping grounds. He was in top form back then, youngest to enter the Studium, graduated with highest honors in magical arts and aetherology, undisputed champion of the debating chamber. Hold on, you both joined the Studium at the same age. Yes. From where I stand, you're equally prodigious scholars. Nice of you to say, but Alphinaud actually entered half a year before me, nor did I do well enough to graduate with honors. I am certainly not the Studium's most notorious master debater. In all respects, have I ever been in his shadow? If nothing else, just remember that this was where the legend of Alphinaud began. We should expect everyone to be fully aware of our recent escapades. Hopefully, we'll be somewhat more welcome here than we were at last stand. I know better than anyone the adoration the student body has for Alvanode, and with a bit of luck, it might work to our advantage. Well, there's no time like the present. First things first, let's look for Scholar Motachin. I cannot read his name. Other facilities Other faculty tend to frequent their offices, but unfortunately for us, he's found fond of wandering wheresoever his whims take him. Let's split up and ask the students if they've seen him. Do, 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 do. That was off Nolovier, wasn't it? The outfit Nolovier. And he was with his sister and Master Baldossion's granddaughter. This can only mean one thing. An event of epoch-shattering proportions is the fast approaching at the word. Oh, sorry, you said you're looking for the scholars, yes? Knowing him, he could be anywhere. But Miss Alphen should have a better idea. Are you lost? Wandering off the streets, perhaps? Wait, don't tell me. You're a trainee gleaner fresh off the guild ship, am I right? Oh, how silly. Oh no. Orientation is hard. I'm not reading all this. Let me start. What is the most important thing you will find in the studio? Right, books. That's right, books. And what's the second most important? Well, that's everything else. I'm not here for a history lesson, lady. The only thing I'm interested in including is information about the scholar's whereabouts. Begging your pardon, you're not a gleaner? Then this was all elaborate. Wait, no. Come to think of it, you've never actually claimed to be one in the first place. My mistake. He was here, but now he's not. I did speak with him shortly before you arrived, though. He said he was on his way to Maker's Meet. Go back the way you came in, and you'll see it on the opposite side of the entrance. It's a laboratory of sorts, home to many rare and expensive, not to mention alarmingly frequent accidents. If you lose your way, just follow the blood-curdling screams. Oh. In the meantime, it's taken me to tell you all this. The scholar has probably already left. Best of luck finding him. I have a feeling you'll need it. Let's see. That was a dancer. Yes, the Scourge was here a short while ago. He offered me advice on my current research project. Though we spoke at length, I don't recall him mentioning where he was planning to go next. When we parted ways, he went down the corridor. Perhaps one of the auditoriums. There's the Scourge.
Ah, I remember you.
I pray we have not caught you at an inopportune moment. We wanted to offer our thanks for your kind words in the forum.
Well, I could hardly let that Inquisition go unchallenged. I've always believed that curiosity should be nurtured, not stifled. Thankfully, a majority of my colleagues agreed. A slender majority, aye, but a majority nonetheless.
Had the vote not gone our way, we would be having a very different conversation, if any at all. Though I'd like to think you would have not given up on our cause. I'm told you paid a visit to the Annex afterwards.
Yes, that's right. I was hoping to speak with the grandchildren of my dearly departed friends Galuf and Louisoix in a less dour setting. But it seems I just missed you. I still can't believe how much you've grown. If only your grandsires could have seen the way you presented yourselves to the Forum. Why, it fair brought a tear to my own eye. You must have the patience of a saint, putting up with this lot and their antics. Never mind Matoya's prize student. Luckily, I know a thing or two about managing unruly younglings. If you ever need advice, don't hesitate to ask.
If I may, there is a rather more pressing matter we wish to discuss. What can you tell us of this duty that the Forum must fulfill?
Nothing, I'm afraid. Like all humble servants of the Forum, I am sworn to secrecy. Or rather, I couldn't tell you if I tried. Our duty is of the gravest importance. Furthermore, if the particulars were made public, it would incite widespread panic. As such, those entrusted with this duty have been bound by an enchantment, which prevents us from speaking of such matters without the express permission of the Forum.
How is that even possible?
It's been some time since I last gave a lecture. Please, take a seat.
Huh.
We shall begin by reviewing the fundamentals of etherology. The ether, which imbues us with life, can be categorized into 3 forms. 2 are of the incorporeal sort, the soul and the memory. Can anyone tell me the third?
Corporeal ether.
Yes, very good. This is the form with which the layman is most familiar. Consumed by even the simplest of daily activities, and replenished by the food and drink that sustain us, this form of ether is in constant flux. In contrast, the ether that comprises the soul is rarely subject to dramatic change. The same can be said for memory, as the two are intrinsically linked. Picture the soul as paper, and memories as words written upon it.
Welcome to the... What does that say? What does that last word say? I cannot read it. I suck at reading... I cannot read that sentence. What does it say? Can chat tell me? I know that to and the... I suck at reading cursive. Welcome to the Hydragona. Welcome to the Hydrangea.
Hydrangea.
Welcome to the Hydrangea. Okay. So that's what it says.
Now, what would happen if that paper was doused with ink? The same type of ether as comprises the memories.
It would blot out everything that was written.
Precisely. We would be unable to recall the memories, and any activities that depend upon them would be hindered as well. In fact, this exact phenomenon was observed on a vast scale not so long ago. And what might that have been?
The seventh Umbral Calamity. The people of Eorzea vividly recall Bahamut breaking free of the Lesser Moon and raining hellfire down upon the realm. But no one could seem to remember the events that followed immediately afterwards.
Indeed. To this day, we have yet to determine whether it was an unintended consequence or a deliberate act. The enchantment which binds me and the rest of the Forum is based on a similar principle. And yes, it is a contravention of the Sharlayan prohibition against the practice of memory manipulation. Only when a new member is inducted and told of our great duty are they subjected to the process. A necessary evil. You have my word that it would never be used to manipulate the populace?
I should hope not. But can this enchantment be dispelled and your memories restored?
If 9/10 of our members give their approval, then the process may be reversed. Then, and only then, would we be able to speak freely to others of our sacred duty. Barring that, we must wait until we return to the ethereal sea. For there we will be purified, the blots upon our souls washed clean. And our memories drift apart and dissolve, rather defeating the purpose, I suppose. But there are those memories that are indelibly etched upon our souls, some believe.
What happens after that?
We are reduced to pure ether, coalesce with that of others, and create souls anew. Alternative schools of thought assert souls remain whole and return to the corporeal world, reborn into another form. Both theories have their proponents. Personally, I consider each equally probable. Well, I think that's enough education for today, now that I've given you some food for thought. Or rather, an entire banquet. I would remind you that although I'm unable to assist you with certain matters, the resources at my disposal may still be of use to you. I'll arrange for you all to be given the run of Phenomenon. Of course, as associate to our alumni and the students of Baldessian, this privilege is extended to you as well, my friend. Oh, and I suggest you speak with Ki Aliapo. She's well known among the artisans of Sharlayan, and her network of contacts may prove useful in your search for knowledge. I wish you all the best in your pursuits, wheresoever they may take you.
So in other words, they literally cannot talk about their sacred duty because it's literally erased from their memory. Or rather, blotted, or it's suppressed. It is literally suppressed. You've been granted the run of Phenomenon. If your game, will put your artistry to good use. While Skarg is best known for his role as head of the studium, he is said to be one of the finest mages Sharlayan has ever produced. Having seen for myself the ease with which he weaves extraordinarily complex and powerful magic, I have no reason to doubt the claims. Some of my earliest memories of the Scholar actually are of the Scholar. He was a close friend of our grandfather. He would come for tea and amaze us with his tricks, much like his demonstration with the paper and ink. He's a huge part of why I wanted to enter the studium in the first place. A capital idea. Kryles is still digesting a rather hefty portion of food for thought. Well, that's given me much to mull over. I feel as though we are one step closer to understanding the Forum's true motives. And the mysteries of life itself, for good measure. It's funny, I came here with the intent of expressing my gratitude, only to leave more indebted than before. I have a feeling his friendship and support will be a great boon to us in the days to come. And on that note, let's head back to the annex. Perhaps on the way you could better acquaint yourself with Quinn Alia, as the Scholar suggested, while I share our findings with Braha. Do I have to? No, I don't have to go do that right now. It's a side quest. Thank gosh. Wait. It looks like there's a red side quest over here. Oh, that's Quinn. And that's for Disciples of Hand or Land, so I don't actually do crafting or gathering all that often, so that's not for me. Baldessian Annex. I have run out of drink again. Oh, Mousy, you redeemed... Okay, Mousy. I will give you the pack. I just saw that you redeemed that, so let me... Okay, in order for me to give you the pack, you need to sign in with your Twitch account into Streamloots. At least once for me to give you the pack. I will give you the link right here. You need to sign in there with your Twitch account for me to give you the pack. I can't actually give you a pack until you sign into Streamloots. Now, so you redeemed the Streamloots pack, but I can't give it to you if you don't sign in. Oh well, I'll wait. I'll try again later. Anywho. Justinian returned long after we departed for the studium. A shame that he missed his chance to attend our lecture with the scholars, or perhaps not. Having spent most of the time in Thavnir, I have yet to fully grasp the lie of the lay of the land here in Charlian. Even finding my way to the Annex proved a challenge. You'd better not let your guard down around Qui. One small favor becomes another, then another, and before you know it, you'll be running into the other side of the world in search of a bottle of wine or some such rubbish. Then again, it might make for a welcome change of pace from your usual heroics, and as the scholar said, it could also lead to interesting discoveries. It seems I've done an acute job of relaying Scholar's lecture to Raha, given his expertise in the field of souls and memories. He had a notable understanding of it. Welcome back. From what I hear, your trip to the studium proved most educational. While you were away, I received word from our fellow Scions. As expected, news of the warding skills was met with much joy. Preparations are now underway to bring the leadership of the Grand Company of Eorzea and the Eastern Alliance together to determine a way forward. Our friends have asked that we bring the scales in our possession to Limsa Lominsa. So the time has come for us to go on the offensive. It's too early to say for certain, but that does seem to be the way the winds are blowing. I, for one, can think of no reason to oppose such a plan, but let us see what awaits us in Vilbrand. Let's start by getting the scales out of storage. Give me a hand, would you, Estinian? Phew, I didn't realize these crates were so heavy. I shouldn't complain, though. Ffxiv, have you signed in, Mousy? There you are. Your pack has been sent. I shouldn't complain, though. Ritra and the alchemists of the Great Works put their heart and soul into each and every one of these scales. So you must treat them with the utmost care. Are you not coming with us? As much as I would like to escape the Forum's watchful gaze, I've little choice but to stay behind. We're already on thin ice, and if I, in my capacity as our official representative, were found to be consorting with foreign powers, you can imagine how that would go. I shall remain here and do my utmost to avoid ruffling any more feathers as I await word from Master Matoya and our other allies. With luck, we'll soon have good news of our own to share. The tide is about to turn. I can feel it. Jalimza Laminza. Jalimza Laminza. Let's see, I have to go this way? To the looks like I have to go to the Admiral's office. I was told to expect you. As you may or may not be aware, the Admiral is at present entertaining the Elder Seedseer and the Sultana, three of the most powerful women in the world in one room. Do you need a moment to prepare, or shall I show you to them? My apologies for calling you away from Charlie at such short notice. On the contrary, we were honored and grateful, and pleasantly surprised to be joined by such esteemed company. 'Twas only right that this decision be conducted in person. Discussion. We are locked in a war of attrition. Our forces struggle to contain the threat posed by the towers, and it is only a matter of time before we are overwhelmed. Victory will only be claimed through decisive action, and we have taken the initiative to set the wheels in motion. It is reassuring to learn we are all in accord. But might I ask what your plan entails? It hangs entirely on the wording skills and our ability to utilize their potential to the fullest. During your time in Charlian, the allied nations have engaged on separate fronts with no end in sight. To make matters worse, a surge in abductions of kobolds, Sahag and Ixal, and Ananta have given rise to an increased number of primals as well. But your triumph in Razatan has given us cause to hope once more. The time has come to free ourselves of this menace. And it is you, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, who have shown us the way. While the bulk of our force will continue to hold the Telafroi at bay, we will dispatch our finest to strike at the enemy's heart, Garlemald. these brave few will be the Ilzabard contingent. To think such progress has been made in so short a span. Its objective is twofold. The first is to provide aid to the people of Garlemald. As previously reported, countless Imperial soldiers and civilians have been tempered, robbed of their free will. They serve at the Telafari's every whim, without question. They too are victims. It is our duty to deliver them from their suffering. Oh! Hello! It's okay. I sent the pack if you want to check it again. You may have to refresh the page. They too are victims. It is our duty to deliver them from their suffering, not for sadistic or political gain, but because it is the right thing to do. I do not ask that we set aside our decades of conflict and conquest, that we simply choose to forgive and forget. I ask that only that in choosing to remember, we do not also forsake our compassion and morality, for without that there can be no reconciliation, only death and without end. On that we can all agree. Our second objective is the colossal tower that Thancred and Arianje observed in the capital. Though its purpose remains unclear, there's reason to believe the smaller spires are merely a precursor of what's yet to come. Until the Tower of Zot was toppled, we failed to make any headway, though the same could be said of the Telafari. They're certainly in no rush to press further into our land. I'd wager the Spire's primary purpose is to divide and keep us occupied while they work towards our annihilation. This would appear to be substantiated by Stola's analysis of the tower's influence on etherical currents. Based on her observations inside the Tower of Zot, the spires siphon aether from the land, consuming it to maintain their form. However, they draw forth far more than is required for the sake of this task alone. The excess of ether remains unaccounted for, but we can be sure it's not being harnessed for our benefit. It wouldn't surprise me if it wouldn't surprise me in the least if it was being redirected to the larger spire in the capital. there's a logic in that. Regardless, once we have uncovered the truth, we'll bring their schemes crashing down, along with their infernal towers. That's all well and good, but what would you have us do? I assume it's more than handing over the scales being on our way. We want you and your scales to join the Ilzabard contingent. Big run. Big run? I don't understand. Mousy, I don't understand. What do you mean big run? Consider it an official request from both the Grand Company of Eorzea and the Eastern Alliance. Do you accept? Perhaps you should be the one to answer that. For the people of Garlemald. Couldn't have put it better myself. Vishtal, Thancred, and Oriardia have already pledged their support and are on the way to meet the rest of the contingent. They were positive you would come to the same decision as they did. Luckily for all involved, their prediction was correct. Once you arrive, deliver the warding skills to Alamigo. The contingent will embark on its journey to Ilzabard. Raban and Lord Emmerich are overseeing preparations. I suggest you make yourselves known upon arrival. Pack warm clothing, fur, and the like. Without it, the cold will do you in before the Telophori so much as draws steel. As for us, we'll keep the enemy busy while you're gone. They're not the only ones who can create a diversion. Now go. Safe in the knowledge Eorzea will be as you left it, or better, upon your return. Looks like we're going to Garlemald. The base game enemies have become the victims, and we're heading to hell. Let's see, we want to go to Gerbania. Here. And I'm gonna step away to use the bathroom. I decided to grab a snack. I must quiz Thancred and Oriange on the conditions we can expect in Garlemald. I know it's cold, but how cold? I will need to keep my ears covered. They can be a bit sensitive at times. I'll admit, this is all rather daunting, though not quite in the way I was expecting. We'll be standing shoulder to shoulder with our alliance's finest, the best of the best, the warrior of light, and well, me. It's silly, I know. Perhaps this is my way of distracting myself from the part I should be worried about. Marching into Garlemald. I know I'm quite looking forward to seeing who's been selected for the Ilsabard contingent. I've a few people in mind. Care to make a friendly wager? Estinian? If Emmerich asks me, I'm saying get on. If Emmerich asks after me, I'm getting on fine and leaving. I'm getting on fine and leaving it at that. That don't you dare breathe a word about the cord. Let's see, who else do we have? We have Emmerich. Fancy meeting you here. I trust our mutual friend is getting into life as a scion. Collaboration never was his forte. The moment the fighting ended, off he'd go, like a gilly cat swept up in a strong breeze. But rest assured, he will always be there when you need him, probably. Nope. Oh, for fuck's sake, someone's inside of Ralbon and I can't click on him. The Wanderers return. You've been busy bringing down a tower and producing the key to destroying the rest of them. You should be proud. Those warding scales of yours are what made this whole venture possible. Well, you and Lord Umric are leading the contingent. Regrettably, no. Our role is the organizer, is to organize and the various delegations into the cohesive unit. Once we've seen you all off, it's back to our respective posts. We dare not neglect our duties for too long, lest our defensive efforts fall into disarray. And just between us, there was a fair amount of opposition to the formation of the Elizabard contingent. The very suggestion that we send out some of our finest troops behind enemy lines to render aid unto the Garleans has made me rather unpopular in certain quarters. Can't please them all. Hold on, I'm gonna finish my protein bar. Chocolate flavored, peanut butter. There we go. Sadly not, though I do my best. Truth be told, I'd much rather be at your side, charging into the fray. Alas, I've battles of my own to fight, where words may serve me better than any blade. To say it, but Lord Emmerich struggles mirror my own. For the time being, the best we can offer you is the peace of mind from knowing Eorzea is in safe hands. As you fight the good fight in Elzabard, I and the other commanders will do what we can to convince the naysayers that our cause is just. Thank you, both of you. We meet again. Much has occurred since we parted ways in Werlit. From what I gather, the protective talismans you obtained led to the formation of this expeditionary force. My contribution on this occasion is but a minor one, that being the information I have shared with Maxima for the sake of the people of Garlemald. May the fate be on your side. So you're not coming with us? Strange, I thought you'd have a stake in this. I do. The Telafri have laid waste to my homeland and enslaved my people. But through every mote of my being cries out for vengeance, I cannot be the one to look for it. My presence alone would place the entire mission in jeopardy. I stand accursed or accused of murdering Emperor Varus and plunging Garlemald into chaos. Were I to travel with the Ilzabard contingent, it would give my countrymen ample cause to question our motive. Conversely, those who believe me innocent may instead celebrate the return of a former legatus and attempt to raise me up to a position of leadership, further destabilizing the region and complicating the contingent's mission. Whether I'm branded a villain or honored a hero, I would only hinder your efforts. We will deliver your people from harm in your stead. I'm turning on my pen. For what it's worth, you have my gratitude. You and your comrades have the strength and courage to deliver my countrymen. I am certain of it. In light of Gaius's rather unique circumstances, I instead will assume the role of your guide. Though I may have defected for political reasons, my love for Garlemald endured. I would stop at nothing to protect her and her people. Well said. Might I ask you to escort our friends inside? You might even bump into an old acquaintance or two if I didn't see you again. Don't see you again ere you depart. May the Fury guide and protect you, all of you. I'm gonna start this. Best of the best. Maxima would have you meet your new traveling companions. The other members of the Ilzabard contingent are gathered in the Royal Palace. I shall inform them of your arrival. Please make your way inside as soon as you are ready. I neglected to mention earlier that we received a report from our troops that may be of interest to you. While engaged with a lunar primal, a great worm swept down from the skies above and came to their aid. This worm, as described, was the spitting image of Tiamat. It would seem she, too, continues to wage war against the Telophorus. Like Gaius, I too stand accused of Varus's murder. Though I am rather less recognizable on sight, still it's something to bear in mind once we reach Garlemald. With the knowledge that our allies will hold the line in our absence, we may devote our attention to the Ilzabard front. So that's Gaius Belsar. The horrors he must have seen, many of his own making, I do not doubt. I suppose it's easy for some people to forget there are civilians in Garlemald, too, when the only Imperials they've ever known are soldiers. Regardless of how my countrymen receive you, the cold will not treat you kindly. Underestimate it at your peril. Once you've seen the contingent on its way, once we've seen the contingent on its way, I will return to my duties here in Alameda. As many of our most capable will be traveling with you to Garlemald, we who remain will have to fight that much harder to make up the difference. But let no man say I do not welcome the challenge. This old bull isn't ready to hang up his horns yet. What the? Oh, it's a building's shadow because of the weather. But yeah, that's everyone I needed to talk to. The remaining members of the Science. Your friends are and most of the Ilzabar contingent await you within. Would you like me to see you through? Yes. Enter the Royal Palace.
By the 12.
It's the Black Mages and the White Mages.
Glad you could join us. I hope you don't mind, but we went ahead and started without you.
As you can imagine, our traveling companions were eager to become acquainted. 'Tis a rare thing indeed to see such a diverse and talented group of individuals assembled for a single purpose. We fight not only for the sake of Eorzea, but for the entire world, including the people of Garlemald. Much rides on the efforts of the Ilzabard contingent.
Indeed, which is why I am glad to find myself in the company of many trusted comrades, yourselves included.
Lucia!
I have come at the behest of Lord Emmerich, who has honored me with the role of Ishgard's representative. And for the good of all nations, not least my former homeland, I am determined to see this mission through to its end. We have a hard road ahead of us, but walk it we shall, together.
We too welcome this opportunity to work together once more. I have faith that, if there is a way to resolve this conflict, we will find it.
Allow me to introduce you to the rest of our company. Everyone! If I may have your attention. Might I ask you to speak first?
If I must. I am Arun Senna, spokesman for the Gridanian delegation. Here on behalf of my esteemed sister, the Elder Seedseer, we shall provide support and protection to those in need during our time in Garlemald. To that end, I am joined by healers selected by the Conjurers Guild, with the Order of the Twin Adder's Finest serving as our escort. Of course, With an experienced white mage such as yourself accompanying us as well, those requiring more involved treatment will be in safe hands. Raya O sends her regards, by the way.
Suppose I'd better say my piece.
Wait, I know you.
The name's Sicard, in case you've forgotten. Truth be told, I'd rather you had forgotten. Any road, the Admiral asked Captain Hillfear to send his best, and for whatever reason, he picked me. Of course, if I'd refused, I'd be the laughingstock of the bloody executioners, and my reputation's taken enough of a keyhauling as it is. But more importantly, like any pirate worth his salt, I know when you're staring down a storm, you gotta trust in the commander of your ship. So if the Admiral wants us to go to Garlemald, not for plunder and glory, but a promise of peace in our time, then that's what we'll do. Since we all know how much the Empire loves its steel, we thought we'd bring along a few smiths to make the most of it. Give them a pile of scrap and they'll cobble together anything you fancy. Of course, just like the Gridanians, we got fighters of our own. We might have come with a more constructive purpose in mind, but we're more than capable of cracking skulls, believe you me.
Well, you're certainly raring to go. But then again, so are we. The most dependable warriors of Uldar and Alamigo have assembled at the Sultana and General Aldin's behest. If Garlemald has truly fallen, then the whole place is likely to be crawling with Telophoroi. We'll need plenty of troops to clear and hold a path for others to follow. That's where we come in. Naturally, Marshal Tarapin and I will be leading from the front.
It's been some time since I last saw you in your element on the battlefield.
From what I've heard, you've become pretty fearsome yourself. Master Matoya, the Avatar of Destruction. With comrades like these, I know we'll succeed, no matter what awaits us. And then we might finally get a chance to enjoy a good long rest. But until then, let's give it our all.
As for Ishgard, we Temple Knights have come in force to uphold our nation's commitment to the peace and welfare of our allies. The bitter cold of Garlemald is a formidable enemy in of itself. Our experience fighting in ice and snow will prove invaluable in the days ahead. Accordingly, I have been designated commander of the Ilzabard contingent. I will do all in my power to provide you with the leadership and guidance you require. The four high houses, House Hylinart foremost among them, have arranged for a host of machinists to join us on our mission. Their knowledge of Imperial Magitech is sure to be a great boon. They will address any problems of a technical nature, together with the smiths of Limpsa Lomitsa. There is another awaiting introduction.
Lord Emanolane!
Ah, yes. Emanolane de Forton, at your service. Though, lest there be any misunderstanding, I should stress that I've not become a fearsome warrior while you were away. Rather, far from it, actually. My brother, in his infinite wisdom, decided this would be an excellent chance to make something of myself. Oh, and fight for world peace and all that. But, should the opportunity arise for a spot of ballroom dancing, I will be your twinkle-toed gentleman of light.
I dare say your fancy footwork may Be all that stands between us and nukes. I didn't do that.
Huzzah! I cannot wait to regale Honoroi with my tales of daring do.
I believe that concludes introductions for the Grand Company of Eorzea. Our allies from the Eastern Alliance were due to arrive some time ago, but it would appear they have been delayed.
Would that be the shinobi of Doma?
Actually, they've been tasked with relaying messages back and forth between the various Eastern nations. According to Lord Hien, however, an equally capable company of warriors has been sent in their stead.
Out of my way, you preening fool!
Forgive us for coming late. We are the delegates of the Eastern Alliance.
Cyrena, and you've brought company.
For battle and blood we come, as a step is sorely lacking in both. No towers befoul our lands, so we marched on those of Doma, only to find them beyond our reach. But now our thirst for slaughter will be slaked. No quarter to the enemy!
Sadu Hatun, no. We go to make peace with the Iron Men, not war.
Warriors of the Steppe, we've heard many tales of your bravery. We welcome you as allies. And these other ones you have brought are...
Members of the Dalmascan resistance group, Lente's Tears.
And the Bosnian resistance. Between them, they have a wealth of experience in espionage, and are particularly adept at infiltrating Imperial facilities. Which is fortuitous, since Garlemald's domain is so vast that I could never hope to handle reconnaissance duties all by myself.
Dalmasca, Bosnia, Alamigo. All lands which have suffered the tyranny of the Empire. I would never presume to question your motives. Nevertheless, I must reiterate that our goal is to aid the victims of the Telophoroi, the common folk of Garlemald. And they are victims, make no mistake. Though I understand that many may struggle to see them as such.
You're more right than you know. For every one of us that answered the call, there were a dozen that refused. Not only in Alamigo, but everywhere we went. And who could blame them? The Empire's always been the enemy. But after seeing what we've seen, fighting and working against and with Garleans, there's no denying the simple truth. They're just people. No different from you or I. They've got their share of liars and murderers, but so do we. So do we all. Fordola, who once swore herself to Garlemald, has proven herself a trusted ally time and time again. Every Eorzean here knows Cid Garland, the Imperial defector who shared with us countless technological wonders. Gaius Bloody Balesar himself is working to help rebuild Whirlid, a nation he once conquered. So you can believe me when I say that every fighter here understands and accepts that the Imperials are not monsters and are deserving of help. Or at least that they were able to put aside their feelings for the greater good. It won't be easy, but we're all determined to make this world a better place.
What lingering concerns I may have had were clearly unwarranted. I agree with everything you said wholeheartedly.
Then we are in accord. Now, let us review our strategy. To reach the Garlean capital in northern Ilsabard, we must cross the central mountain range. Fortunately, Garland Ironworks can provide aerial transport, sparing us this most treacherous part of our journey. However, attempting to fly any closer to Garlemald would attract the attention of the Telophoroi. As they appear to have seized control of the majority of the Imperial military, we must assume that includes its fleet. In addition, Garlemald possesses devices that can interfere with airship navigational systems, further discouraging an airborne approach.
Given the circumstances, the closest we dare deploy our contingent is an area between the range and the capital, the Magna Glaciers. From there, we must travel the rest of the way on foot. We will also need to bring the airships with us to ensure we can withdraw with haste. Although much of the terrain will be blanketed in snow, we should be able to make use of local roads and shipping facilities. The vast ice field will afford us an unobstructed view of the surrounding area. On the other hand, it will also allow others to easily spot us. So, it is imperative that we only make camp in positions where we can easily defend ourselves. And the airships, which must be kept safe at all costs.
We cannot account for every possibility, so we must be prepared to think on our feet. We will be tested. Sorely tested, I expect. But for our homes and for our people, and a people not our own but in need, we will succeed. Spare no effort in your preparations. Once we depart, there is no turning back.
Cookabusi. Cookabuki. We come as quickly as we could. We would follow your example and devastate the Telophoroi with the full extent of our power. Worry not for your brothers. Busi. Worry not for your brothers. Busi. We will return soon enough. I'm so glad I found you. I've for you a letter from Master Hammond. Let's read it together, shall we? Now let's see here. I have every confidence that your fist shall bring the Telophoroi to their need. And should you espy any beautiful maidens thereabouts, perhaps sing them a phrase. Charming master, oh well, more fool me for thinking that letter would contain something actually inspiring. Let's just, forget this note exists and focus on the battle ahead. This guy's from the, Pugilist Guild. He's the, secondary command. Alka! Greetings, Wolf Mage. The time has come for us Marines to show our valor upon the battlefield. All who see us will know our name and quake before our might. This guy is from the questline for the Scholar class, which I did off screen. Same with the Pugilist, because I will be doing those at a later date on screen. I did this off screen as well. In case you were wondering, Ffxiv will be staying behind to defend the 12's with my sister. She was of the opinion that she would make a useful addition to our contingent and was eager to make good on her vow to accompany me as well, which was flattering, but ultimately it was decided that her skills would be better put to use keeping our homeland safe. I'm, of course, obliged to share with her every deal till when I return. And that was from the White Mage quest, which I did off screen. I plan to do all the quests in sequence on screen later. Maxima is from Main Story. This guy is from the Heavensward questline. Well met, Wolfmage, well met. It would seem that my machinists have been called upon to serve a turn of events which, according to my parameter, could prove to be quite the opportunity. I shall show the world the full extent of machinery's wealth, and with that, more and more you can be assured of, my friend. He's from the Machinist questline. We also have Tokobushi from the Thaumaturgy questline. Yeah. Oh, I need to take a drink? I am out of drink. I will fill that later. Anyway, talk to Alize. I was half expecting to find the men who taught me red magic amongst our number, but he's nowhere to be seen. I suppose he had his share of unpleasant experiences with the Empire, but so have we all. Perhaps there's some other reason? Well, in any case, I've a feeling I'll see him again once this is all over. I'm sure he'll be pleasantly surprised by how much my swordplay has improved since we last met. Fun fact, the same person who taught her red magic is the same person who teaches you red magic in the Red Mage questline. Anyway, back to Summoner. Bring our carbuncle out. Speaking of carbuncles, I need to do a mini side quest that unlocks the ability to have my fairy as scholar turned into other things, because I want it to be a carbuncle. Anyway, blessed are we to have made countless steadfast allies ere our journey over our journeys, of course. Indeed, we are joined by many new acquaintances who in time shall we come to call our comrades, and mayhaps friends. I've close ties with the scouts of the Eastern Alliance and the various resistance groups, and they're an absolute joy to work with. Lucia? I've led troops into battle many times, but never a unit with such diverse range of talents. While I've been briefed on their capabilities, I expect you could provide additional insight into their strengths and weaknesses. I'd appreciate any advice you may have. Maxima? In case my lot with the Polaris to... I cast my slot with the Polaris to bridge the divide between Garlemald and her territories, that all may be united in common cause. But we were disparaged as a radical element. Deserters looking to destabilize the Empire from within. Many friends and even my parents perished in unfortunate accidents. I too would surely have met the same fate had I not defected. Nevertheless, I still deemed it equal. I still dream of equality and peace for all of us. As the world itself stands on the brink of collapse, I hold out hope that one day that dream will become reality. And finally, we are going to talk to... Oh, we forgot to talk to Graha and Alphanon. This is extraordinary, to be in such company, the finest of our allies have to offer. With comrades such as these, we are bound to succeed. I'm certain of it. We've been part of John's joint military operations like this before, but with far greater numbers. But for some reason, this feels different to our previous experience. Despite having shared little more than introductions, there is already a palpable sense of camaraderie. Let's talk to Cyrna. I'm glad to see you well, Wolf Mage. Grandmother was worried for you. The night I agreed to come hither and join the contingent, the gods sent her a strange dream. Two suns, one burning red, the other frozen black. The closer they hurtled, closer and closer, and as they danced, the world fell to ruin. In blinding chaos, she spied blackened silhouette, and I knew at once that one was yours. Yet we know not how to interpret this dream, save a sign of great danger awaits. But whatever lies ahead, I will walk it with you, traveler. I care not for the Iron Men or their troubles. It is the destiny of the weak to die in ignominy. Even so, I will do as I've agreed, and I volunteered to join this band at Cyrna's request. And if she thinks it a worthy cause, that is reason enough. Though we hail from different tribes, our bond has grown strong of late. She is much better company on a hunt than any of the steppes elfish men could dream to be. With the mole champion of the Nodum and the Dethal having sent so many here, I had thought to defend the steppe in their absence. And I would have done so were it not for my stepbrother. They urged me to grant our allies the sun's might, that his radiance might deliver them unto victory. Though I must tolerate the presence of this peril to Thaldog. As first among my brothers, I could do no less than accept this challenge. My deeds will become the stuff of legend. He is an arrogant jackass. And you still put him in his place before Shadowbringers. Besides the delegates assembled here, the Amalja and several other tribes offered to send troops of their own. Unfortunately, due to their physiology, many would have struggled simply to survive in the harsh climate of Ilzabar. They would also likely prove tempting targets for abduction by the Telophori. All things considered, they can better aid the cause by bolstering our defenses in Eorzea, though their eagerness to do more has been noted. We few shall have to suffice. Ere we embark, we must distribute the warding scales to our comrades. Care to do the honors? We heard it would be cold in Garlemald, so we came prepared. Oh, the talisman. We are to keep these close at all times, yes? I will see that no one misplaces theirs. Oh, and before I forget, I have a message from Hien. In distant lands, in times of strife, together stand, together fight. In darkness shines the light of life. I hope I have done his words justice. Doma, like much of Arthard, has been plagued by towers. Yet while he could not be here, he wished to express his shared conviction. Hien and Yugiri labor without rest to unite the people, and with their aid will we keep the enemy at bay. And we of the Steppe and the Eastern Alliance will repay their efforts by ending this war. Yes? So these are the famed warding skills. Enough for me and my men, I see. I myself am especially grateful for this opportunity to visit distant lands. I wish to follow in the footsteps of Master Etoile and learn all there is to learn of this star we call home. Indeed, that is the primary reason I volunteered to join the expedition, to journey outside the 12th Wood, as much less enter into Imperial territory. It is a rare privilege afforded to a Pledgead. Not that I am tagging along to see the sights. The Garleans would benefit from my healing magics, as would our comrades, should fighting break out. I hear you've got something for us. Boop. Them scales everyone's been talking about. Pretty little things, aren't they? Reckon they'd be worth a gil or two when this is all over, but we'll hold on to them for now. And one more thing, I know what you're all thinking. Why don't they send Eleazar instead? Bugger if I know. All the Admiral and the Captain Hilfer told me was they needed someone to help safeguard the future, and here I am. Can't say they haven't got a sense of humor. Of course, some of you might be wondering what good a pirate is on dry land in the middle of the sodden snow of all places. Well, me and my crew do whatever needs doing. So let's sail. Or however Sans goes on airships. That's a set of wording skills I spy. Not that I would know what they look like. Well, look at these. Even a layman like me can tell they're bursting with ether. All the better to fend off tempering waves. Is that the right term? Anyway, these will give us one less thing to worry about, which just leaves the other mountain of whatever else is waiting for us in Garlemald. Only one way to find out, eh? And nervous or not, I'd much march through all 7 hells if it gives me the chance to put Xenos back in the grave where he belongs. Boarding skills for the Ishgardian delegation, I take it? My thanks. These talismans may prove to be the deciding factor in the battle to come. I find myself conflicted by this foray into Garlemald, sent by the Empire to infiltrate Ishgard, only to throw in my lot with those whose secret I was supposed to be stealing. And now I lead a mission to save the countrymen I betrayed. But that is doubtless why I was chosen by Lord Adamric. He would have me put my extensive knowledge of and former ties to good use. I will not disappoint him. For the future of Ishgard, Garlemald, and the world at large, I will lead us to victory. Do you have a warding skill for me too? Thank you for this, and for going through such trouble, incredible lengths for the sake of my people. Though I have little to offer in return, I would impart some advice, if I may. You have been told by many to wear the cold of Ilzabard, and I cannot stress enough that this is no token warning. I will be distributing specially made warming tinctures, courtesy of the Alchemist Guild, but understand that they are no substitute for proper protection. I leave the provisioning of said protection to your discretion. Now, let us proceed to Alamigan Quarter. While you make your final preparations, I will have the pilot ready the airships. But I think this has been enough stream for today. We got pretty far in the story. We handed out warding scales. and I think it's a good point to stop. I hope you guys enjoyed my stream. I hope you guys stop by again. Until next time, I've been Wolfmage1011. I'll see you guys then. Bye!